Monday. What is it? July 19th. Whew. Time is flying by, bro. Thought we'd do something different this morning. Why not? I'm just gonna go through Reddit. Gonna go down the Reddit rabbit hole to see if there's anything interesting. First thing that comes to the fore is footage of these floods in Germany, man. It's unbelievable. Showing video of floods carrying away a house. This house is floating away. Man, it's insane. That's unbelievable. Oh, man. This is in the subreddit Malicious Compliance. The headline is, Manager wanted everything I do during a workday written down. Request granted. So I get the impression they wrote down everything. Brush my teeth, you know. That happened. This actually happened to me once. Actually, I kind of forgot about that. I'll tell that story someday. One of the dumber things I've done in my life. But it's a good story now. I posted I posted to Facebook that I left my phone in my pants and washed the pants, and the phone got washed for 35 to 40 minutes. Actually, that's the phone in my hand. And there's no problem. Let's go this way. I think it's this street. I talked to a guy. Yeah, oh, I should explain that. The phone is completely waterproof. I had no clue. Saved my life. I was talking to somebody in this neighborhood that I live in temporarily, and they said I think at this street, we were talking about crime in this neighborhood. Now, I used to live here in the 80s when it was not as cool as it is now. In other words, there was more crime. But I was young and didn't have anything, didn't care. And I could run faster. They said an Amazon driver at 9 in the morning, Amazon, you've seen those Amazon vans, they were making a delivery. They got robbed. I think it was this street. It's such a beautiful little street with these trees, the bricks. This area is called Victorian Village because of the Victorian homes. Then he said on a separate incident, somebody he knew or was walking along that main street back there, which is called Neal Avenue, we were just on. It's like 7 o'clock at night. Somebody hit them in the head and knocked them out. They were just walking along, going out for an evening walk. Got clocked in the head, woke up in the hospital. Had no clue what happened. Now, I don't know how recently these events were, but that's concerning because, as you can imagine, it seems like a pretty safe area, which it is, but you start hearing stories like that. Oh, and he said there was a shootout in the short north, so just over that way is, I don't know where the lines are, but that section of High Street is called the short north. And then one block over is technically Victorian Village, so I don't really know. But anyway, I just consider short north to be those restaurants and bars along High Street. It's become a whole scene, over time. More and more restaurants open and bars open, and younger people move to the area, and condos were, gentrification and hipization, I guess. Became a hip place to live and party. I was talking to a guy that lives at right next to Knott's Berry Farm, like basically a block away from Knott's Berry Farm in Los Angeles, in the Southern California. Knott's Berry Farm has rides. It's an amusement park. It's got more, but it's basically an amusement park. I said, that'd be cool. You're just so close. You just, if you're into rides, you could just walk over. He said, yeah, no. He said the problem is people leave the park and they're drunk and they're loud and they throw trash all over the place and they pass out in people's yards and, that kind of stuff. Look how high the water is. I've had all that rain up till a couple days ago. You see the cars, you're like, I can walk. Yeah, I better run. What's going on with, why are they, This is an actual city park, by the way. This is an official city park. That looks good. Look, they even have raked it up. So what do you do? That's my question. Leave a comment. Is there a popular tourist area in your town that got too crazy? Too much crime? What did they do? All right, let's keep going. Today we're just doing Reddit. I'm just going down through my Reddit feed, seeing if there's anything interesting. Let's see. They're showing a guy. They're showing a guy that collects Hot Wheels. It looks like he's got about. Looks like he's got a couple thousand of them, and he's got them on the wall, like these special shelves he made, or maybe he's just stacking the boxes. I don't know. He's got a couple thousand Hot Wheels lining the walls of his room. That's pretty funny. Hot Wheels was just one of those products I remember. We were probably, let's see, it was in Canada, so I was probably 7, 8 years old. It just worked. It just was cool. And the Hot Wheel strips and the loop-the-loop and the whole thing. You know? Childhood memories. All right, this is interesting. Now, Reddit, if you're not familiar, is basically a bunch of subreddits. And subreddits are forums devoted to a certain topic or theme. And this person posted, "Today is my birthday, and nobody remembered, not even my parents or siblings. I feel so lonely." I mean, I try. I tell you what, that's one thing that Facebook is really useful for, honestly. There's not much that it's useful for. It used to be more useful. But anyway, just remembering birthdays. That's pretty useful. And yes, I put them all in my Google Calendar and stuff, but with Facebook, it's all right there, you know. And you can leave a quick note. And not everybody, you know, some friend of a friend of a friend you knew in junior high. Hey, just say happy birthday. That's all you need to do. You don't need to send everybody a cake, right? But outside of that, I'm not as good at it as I should be. And yeah, so, and I've had it happen to me. Actually, just this past year. No, I'm sorry, not this past year. This year. I said to somebody I know pretty well. I said, "What are you doing today?" I go, "Well, I'm going, it's my birthday, I'm going golfing." He goes, "It's your birthday?" And it's not vindictive, or it's just, you know, everybody's in their own trip, you know. Just get busy, and I didn't even think about it myself, that somebody else might forget. Because in our family growing up, we just didn't really have a lot of money, so there wasn't a lot of emphasis on gift giving. Funk E-Town. Oh, it's dedicated to an actual person named Funk. Mary Teresa Funk. 1951 to 2010, I should say. 1951 to 2010. That's the age I'm at actually right now. That's not good. Yeah, we never had any money. It's not how poor I was story or rant, but we just didn't have any extra money. Ask anybody that came from a big Catholic family. There just wasn't extra money around. And what am I trying to say? Yeah, so gift giving wasn't a big thing, just because I think we decided early on. I think I remember my parents talking to us early on and saying, "Look, we're just not going to be big into the gift giving. So you're not going to get a ton of, you know, I know your friends get 8,000 presents, but we're just not going to do that. You'll get a good present. We want to give presents, but don't feel obligated. Yeah, so early on, like when we were 4 years old, good as a speech. So even if this person had remembered my birthday, you know, they wouldn't have probably gotten anything for me, and but that would be normal in my situation. But it was just kind of funny. Yeah, it's my birthday. I'm going golfing. It's your birthday? And the other thing too is I can't complain because this is the other part of it in our family. The other part is it depends on, like, so the year before they did a big thing for me on my birthday. We had a whole cookout, right? So that's supposed to last a few years. Well, yeah, I didn't get anything for you for your birthday or even remember it, but dude, we had that big cookout for you last year. That's good. That's good for at least 5 years. Oh man. Yeah, come see us in 5 years. We'll have a barbecue. Oh man. All right, let's keep going. Let's change the subject. Let's see. All right, here's a books subreddit. Somebody asserts that The Never-Ending Story is a far better fantasy book than any Harry Potter book. What do you think about that? I don't know enough about The Never-Ending Story. I mean, I kind of know the plot. It's kind of funny. But, and I've read a couple of the Harry Potters. I really like Harry Potter. I mean, I read a lot of books, right? So I was at work one day, and I tried not to, you know, ever mention that. But I was at work one day, and, you know, it's a fairly, you know, highly competitive business I was in, TV advertising sales. And I think we were in some kind of group setting, and I said, "Oh yeah, I just finished the Harry Potter book." Man, this is back when they were first coming out, I think. They're like, "What?" Especially guys. Any guys in the room like, "What?" Yeah, I just finished the Harry Potter book, which was in the early days, if they even knew what it was, but it was widely considered a, you know, children's book, which of course is targeted toward teens or kids. I don't know. But I just knew that it was rapidly becoming a monster book, and I wanted to know what it was all about. And I was impressed by the world building. Golly, the patience and the time it takes to, you know, come up with an entire world in a novel like that, in a book. You know, to think of every character and every nuance of their character and specific attributes of the world that you have to keep consistent, so that if you say people can fly on brooms and play sports on brooms, that you're consistent with that, and that it's tougher than it looks. I just started my first novel yet like 2 days ago. And I wrote one page. And then I posted to Facebook. I said, I just started my new novel. I finished the first page. I'm taking a break for the day. With a smiley face, because I always have to put smiley faces because people can never tell when I'm kidding. But yeah, it felt good to get the first page done. It should be done. I don't know how long it takes to write novels. I just do it as a, you know, sort of a hobby. I'm not really focused on writing novels. But it's good writing exercise. writing short stories and essays. Well, I write essays all the time, but writing short stories and novels, I think, is a really good way to stretch as a writer. So I'm not that concerned how good it is, to be honest with you. It's more just the doing it, and it's fun. It's unbelievably fun. I don't know if that puts me in some kind of nerd category, but it's so much fun writing novels that you don't. I think partly because I'm not attached to it. I think a true novelist is probably a little bit more painful that I'm the way I do it, because the challenge of a novel is you get into it and then you get stuck. You're like, this isn't going anywhere, or at least this would be the challenge for me. If I wrote a lot of them, it was sometimes it starts in your head. You're like, this is such a good idea. But I think what you have to do, and I'm just speaking extemporaneously, I don't really know, but I think one of the things you have to do with a novel is sort of let go and see where it goes. And it may not go well, but in a way, the characters kind of start to take over. They start to, they're real people, and they respond like real people do to the circumstances around them and the things that you put in front of them. And it's not always predictable. You talk to any writer, I think they'll verify this, that the characters eventually start to write the novel. The novel starts writing itself, in a sense. And it's a little weird. You're like, okay, this evil person I created, they're acting evil. And it's going off in this other direction. And of course, you can modify it and change it and do whatever you want. You can create whatever you want. But I think sometimes in a novel, it doesn't go where you thought it would, and you don't like where it went, and you don't know how to fix it or change it. Is a better word. Change it to make it change it to that you're happy with and that makes sense. You know what I mean? But don't go by what I know. Don't go by what I'm saying. It's just my guess. But when you start writing a novel and get into novel writing and learn about novel writing, read about it. Like, I knew nothing about it. I don't know how these novels get written. Nothing. I knew nothing about it until I started studying. You really can see where it takes somebody a long time. Like they say, the Game of Thrones guy, he takes too long. He takes too long to come up with. Well, that might be a factor of some kind, that maybe some people are slow, but it takes a long time. The Game of Thrones, to come up with all of those characters and all of that world building, it takes a long time, bro. Plus, what you see on screen is probably, let's say, half of what he wrote, right? He left out half that didn't work, or that didn't fit, or they changed, or they cut, or